Good evening, parents, and welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Lourdes Osorio, and I am your child's world history teacher, along with Mr. Spina. So I will begin by introducing myself and some aspects of the class, and then Mr. Spina will continue. First of all, I joined Rutherford for the 2006-2007 school year, where I taught social studies at Union School for a number of years before coming to the high school. I have a bachelor's in political science from Seton Hall, and then I returned to Seton Hall for my degree in education. I made a career change. I worked in New York City for a security company where I was in charge of sales for many years before making a career change and becoming a teacher. I have a son and daughter. My son will be graduating from college this May, and my daughter is already on her own in Philadelphia. And I mentioned that just to let you know that I understand the struggles that parents have to deal with when they work and then return home and are trying to keep up with their children's homework and assignments and their activities. So I know what you're going through. But we are all blessed to be in a great place for education. As you know, Rutherford is an excellent school system, and we are in an excellent school system in a state that is tops for education. New Jersey will always rank one, two, or three in any of the polls that are taken or any of the studies that have been done as far as education. So we're all in a great place, and I try to encourage students to take advantage of that fact. For world history, these are the topics that we will be discussing this year. It is the early river valley civilizations, which we have just finished, the classical civilizations, Greece and Rome. Then we move on to the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, the Reformation, the origins of the world's major religions. We'll also be discussing European monarchies, the Enlightenment, the French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, and also Latin America. For the supplies that will be needed, there is no textbook. I put together the materials from various sources, including internet sources. Occasionally, I may assign a textbook assignment where I will make copies of pages and provide those on Google Classroom for the students. They will need one section of a notebook or a three-ring binder, whichever they prefer is fine, a folder for handouts, and markers and colored pencils for things like, some artwork, for things like coloring and labeling maps, which we work with. So they will need those. And of course, in class, we can't really hand out materials like markers and colored pencils where a number of students would normally share. We can't do that this year. So please, if you would, try and make sure that your child has some of those at home. Important information, we have homework. Students are to write it down at the beginning of class, and late homework or any assignments really will receive half credit. So whatever the grade would be originally, if the assignment was handed in late, it would get half the credit that it earned. And of course, unless that's except for an absence due to illness, then that assignment would be full credit. Extra help, I am available on Zoom every afternoon. On Google Classroom, there is a section that says Mrs. Osorio office hours, and students can click the link for those office hours to ask me any questions, to go over any material they may be struggling with. So I'm here, I'm happy to help them. I just ask, in general for the class, I just ask that, they do their work, keep up with their assignments, and don't try to take advantage of things. I can work with them. I'm very reasonable, but as long as they're not trying to take advantage of a situation. I do encourage you to make sure that you are checking their grades on a weekly basis, and to encourage them that they check their grades so that they know where they stand in the class. And also, if I've made an error, they can point out an error that I've made promptly, and so that I can correct it. So I thank you. I hope that, please email me any questions that you have. Please email me losorio@rutherfordschools.org. I would be happy to assist you, and I look forward to continuing to work with these wonderful children this year. I'll now turn it over to Mr. Spina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carmen Spina. I am the co-teacher in Mrs. Osario's U.S. History 1 class. Just a little bit about my background. I studied history at Montclair State University. I also went on to receive MA in special education at NJCU. I started teaching in 1996 in Jersey City Public Schools. From there, I moved on to Belleville High School, and then I went on to Montclair High School before finally coming to Rutherford in 2005. I've taught every single area of special education, self-contained, in-class support. I've worked in resource room, and now I'm doing co-teaching. So I have vast experience working with both special and regular education students. Some of the skills that Mrs. Osorio and I are going to work on is we're going to focus on analysis, critical thinking, and interpretation of historical documents. We're going to take a look at primary sources from earlier time periods and evaluate their impact on history. Political cartoons and other visuals, map interpretation, and then we will work on preparing students for standardized testing, such as the PARCC, and the questions that will be found on the PARCC test. And one of the most important things that we're also going to do is work on current events and current news that is impacting our nation today. Our grading policy is as follows. We have quizzes that are worth 25%. Tests and projects are 35% of the student's grade. Homework is 15%. And then classwork and participation is 25% of the grade. This year, we're asking that students leave their cell phones in their bags and do not take them out during class. In years past, we would have the students put their phones in a caddy and then, pick them up at the end of the class. This year is a little different. We still don't want the cell phones in class, but the students are just going to keep the phones in their bags. This year, so far, the students have been working very hard. It's a little different from years past, but what we've seen so far, the students are very excited about history. They seem to be participating greatly, and it's a very, very nice group of kids. And thank you guys for tuning in today, and I look forward to meeting all of you guys in person very, very soon. Thank you very much.